November is upon us, and while the chill might make some gardeners ready to hang up their gloves, let me tell you, this month is just as crucial for our gardens as the spring and summer months. This is the time when we're not just wrapping things up, we're laying the foundation for what's to come. So, if you're in a garden zone like I am, let's talk about the essential steps you can take to ensure a fruitful, well prepped garden comes spring. Now, I know fall gardening can feel a bit unpredictable, especially when squirrels start meddling in the plants, like what just happened with my Swiss chard and my hibiscus harvest. They wiped out my hibiscus harvest, and I had planted some Swiss chard seeds, and they dug up the entire bed. Only one Swiss chard grew. Gardening is about adapting, planning, and sometimes just hoping the weather cooperates. In this video, we're going to dive into what's left to plant, how to protect our beds, and what planning steps will set us up for a successful garden in the coming year. First, let's talk about what you can still plant in November. Here in Zone 7, we have the luxury of a longer growing season. So, if you've been on the fence about garlic and onions, now is your moment. Garlic cloves can go right into the ground this month, and they'll establish roots over the winter, leading to a harvest in late spring or early summer. Don't be shy, planting garlic deep and mulching it well can protect it from those unexpected frosts. Just think about how rewarding it will be to pull up fresh garlic next year, right from your garden. And onions, they are equally hardy. Planting onion sets now will give them a head start, and they'll sit under the soil, building roots until the spring sunshine coaxes them into their full growth. Now that we've covered what's going in the ground, let's talk protection. November is all about mulching and cover crops. Mulching does wonders for keeping the soil temperature steady, protecting tender plants and preserving moisture, especially useful in the month that can swing from mild to chilly in a matter of days. Straw, shredded leaves, or even wood chips are perfect for keeping that soil covered. If you haven't already considered a quick growing cover crop like clover or rye to add organic matter back into the soil, suppress weeds, and improve soil structure, think of it as giving the soil a winter coat, all the while preparing the garden beds to be richer and more productive in the spring. November is also prime time for cleanup. Remove any old plants, particularly any showing signs of disease, to avoid pests overwintering in them. And for anyone who had squirrel troubles, like I did with the Swiss chard and my sorrel, my hibiscus, remember that cleaning up fallen debris and adding natural repellents can help deter these garden invaders. For a more organic approach, cayenne pepper or garlic sprays can sometimes help discourage pesky critters. One thing to remember is that November isn't just for shutting down, it's a time to fortify. Once your beds are cleared, consider doing a soil test to check for nutrient levels. If you had compost or well rotten manure now, the nutrients will have time to break down and enrich the soil naturally over winter. Adding a light dusting of lime can also be beneficial if your soil is particularly acidic, but always follow your soil test results to avoid overcorrection. The beauty of this preparation is that it creates a balanced environment for spring crops, giving them the best possible start when the season warms up again. As you put the final touches on your fall garden, November is also the ideal time to start planning for next year. Think about what worked well in the summer, what didn't, and how you want to rotate your crops. A little planning now can mean fewer headaches when spring rolls around. And if you're someone who likes to get a jump on the season, November is also the start of seed catalog browsing. Look out for cold hardy greens like kale, collards, and Swiss chard. If you have a greenhouse or a sunny indoor spot, you can even start these greens now, giving them a head start for early spring transplanting. That way, you can be one of the first gardeners in your area harvesting fresh greens. So there you have it, a full rundown of November garden tasks for Zone 7. It's a month of balance. We're tucking our gardens in for winter while sowing seeds and preparing for the burst of life that will come with spring. Remember, gardening is a cycle, and each season has its own beauty and purpose. Thanks for joining me on this journey. And if you're being inspired to get out there and keep growing through November, let me know in the comments. Gardening doesn't end with the first frost, it's just beginning. Let's make the most of it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into November gardening tips, be sure to like and subscribe to stay updated on every season journey in the garden. There's so much more to come, and I'd love for you to be part of it. Until next time, this is your girl Daddy from Greener Acres Garden Oasis. It's Gago. Gardening always, growing on. See you in the next video.